Hear that? There's a party going on in New Zealand. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Race Review. I just want to say what a finish, what a race to a, guess you can say, a bit of a crappy weekend for NASCAR's first street race weekend in Chicago. So let's talk about it real quick. But first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Shane Van. I need to read it in order to understand how to pronounce it correctly here. Where's he at? Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen on winning it in his debut race for Team Trackhouse and the Project 91 guys. That's first off awesome. The fact that Shane gets to be the first one in 60 years to win in his debut since Johnny Rutherford back in Daytona in 1963. But anyway, like I said, let's do a rundown of the race, talk about all what happened. So also, rained all day in Chicago, so basically they had to start single file. Hamlin had poles, so he went ahead and started up for Tyler Reddick, his employee, and but Tyler made pretty quick work of it. He passed Hamlin, but what was crazy was that the top three, for the most part, in the first half of the race, they were pretty much, they pulled out ahead of everybody else. I was watching and I saw, it's like Reddick, Hamlin, SVG, I'll just call him, then whoever else. Then after Hamlin had a bit of an incident, then it was like Christopher Bell. So basically, for a while, the top three guys were able to pull away from everybody else. So that was actually quite interesting to see there. So anyway, like I said, Reddick passed Hamlin, but it obviously didn't take too long to cause chaos because it was like lap 2. Eric Almirola spun, then Eric Jones overshot turn 6. Next, he hit Brad Keselowski and Noah Gragson, which ended up putting them all into the tire barrier. Then I think it was lap 3, Denny Hamlin went into the tire barrier into turn 2, I believe it was. He hit the tire barrier, so tire barrier was not everyone's friend today. So then Reddick, got into a big lead due to Hamlin hitting the tire barrier. Then on lap 3, Kyle Busch caused the first caution of the race. Race with him ended up getting stuffed underneath the tire barrier. So also, they had to tow him out, but he was still able to run the race. So, lucky for Kyle. So on lap 5, we have a restart. Reddick jumps out to the lead, and what was crazy was, like I said, the first 3 cars, jump out in front of everybody, but everyone had a real nice battle from 4th on back. Everybody was still jumbled up for the most part, which was really surprising to see how far ahead those guys got, the top 3, and then everybody else is still kind of just jumbled up into a big mess. But as the race kept going on lap 8, Bell starts closing in on Reddick. He's diving into the corners a little bit more. He's making it stick, so he's catching Reddick. Then, on lap 9, Bell passes Reddick going to turn 6. Reddick slips, going in. He didn't hit the wall. He just overshot the corner. Then Bell gets by him. Then on lap 12, from that little mess up from Reddick, Shane Van Gisbergen. I'm gonna try to say this without reading it. Shane Van Gisbergen, whatever. He's catching Reddick. Then LaJoie, Corey LaJoie was making a mad pass against Alex Bowman going through the turn 11. I believe was part of the track, turn 11, and then I think Bowman got right back by him, I believe. And then on lap 13, you have another caution. Due to Gragson getting stuffed into not getting stuffed, he drove into the tire barrier. He tried backing out of it, but unfortunately he got stuck, so I was had to tow him back out. Then right to lap 16, Bell holds the restart. I think stages were, at first it was supposed to be 20, 30, and 50. Well, I'll talk about stage lengths later. Bell wins the first stage, and then on lap 21, we see some guys go on pit road, put on slick tires. I have marked down here Chase Briscoe was one of the first guys put on slicks. So eventually, once one guy does, everyone else is going to start doing it. So, then obviously, the pace is going to start picking up. Then lap 22, Joey Logano, he ended up hitting the turn 6 barrier, but he was able to back out of it. Lucky for him. First off, I want to point out here that barrier in turn 6 was nobody's friend. It seemed like everybody, including Noah Gragson, ended up hitting that turn 6 barrier, that tire barrier. So, like you said, for Joey, he was able to back out of it. Then, during the green flag pit stops, Jenson Button, he's he was wide and he gets spun by Chris Buescher. And again, that's more of a Jensen Button's fault. No, he's supposed to be closer to the pit, to the pit road line or whatever. Then he had an incident that almost, that would have made my heart go up to my throat. No, Joey Logano was getting ready to go into pit road, and here's Jensen spinning himself back around and almost getting clobbered by Joseph Lagogo. But anyway, like I said, green flag stops are happening for putting on slick tires. The track's getting drier. Ever since about it's done raining, the track's actually getting dry from all the cars. Then on lap 25, Todd Gillen hit the barrier, but he kept going. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty here, but anyway, back to what I was saying here. So lap 25, Gillen hit the barrier in turn 2. He got to keep it going. Lap 25 again, Ryan Blaney, he ended up hitting the wall. He just barely missed the tire barrier in turn 6. But he was able to keep it going. But however, third bad week in a row for Ryan Blaney. First was Sonoma, we're getting spun out. Then last week at Nashville, he ended up getting involved in a wreck unfortunately. So a bad 3-week stretch for Ryan Blaney, recently after that Coke 600 win. So on lap 26, Chase Elliott, he ended up getting through the tire barrier in turn 2. Then on lap 30, Gregson in the tire barrier again in turn 6 for the second time. Won't be the last time here, so they had to throw a caution out for him to pull him back out. So anyway, lap 34, Bell's still leading. Reddick and Shane SVG, he's passing Reddick again. No, scratch that. Reddick passes SVG for a spot. Shane started falling back a little bit. But eventually, Suarez passes Truex with Larson to follow. I've run down Truex. Had a little bit of skirmish on the track. And then lap 35, Shane Van Gisken. Screw it. SVG passed by Larson and Suarez. Now he ended up back to 5th, but obviously it wasn't it. Christopher Bell. I had written down he dominated. The first half of the race. He had pretty much once he got out front. Nobody was really gonna stop him. For the most part, there. He just dominated. The first half of the race. Then on lap 40, going through turn 11, I believe. Turn 11, turn 12. Denny Hamlin, he spins Alex Bowman out. They both end up sliding because I guess part of the track, none of the dry line ended up getting wet. So, they slid, and then Hamlin hit Bowman, and Bowman stalled out. So they had to bring the caution out for Alex Bowman. Then on lap 48, Kyle Larson, starts chasing Bell after the restart. And Suarez ended up smacking the wall. Then as the race went on, Bell starts to pull away on the restart. Then they had another caution because Alex Bowman says he ended up losing oil pressure in the car. And I guess that's from the spin. And that had to cause caution because he ended up sitting behind the wall. So they had to basically get him off the track into the garage. So bad race for Bowman. Went worse. Had Christopher Bell win stage 2. So again, dominating day for Seabell. Again, a lot of good points for the playoffs. Also, this for everybody else. Not playing catch up. Now from here after stage 2, they had to change the race length. As if you watch, rain. I think the race started around 6:30, so they had to condense the race down to 75 laps in order to beat the darkness. Just saw the track, since Chicago. It was actually getting quite dark whenever the race was over. I was sitting there looking at in there, I was like, man, they have another caution. I don't think they're going to run this race the rest of the way because it's getting quite dark down out in Chicago. So anyway, they changed it to 75 laps, and then and weird turn of events that Justin Haley ended up getting up front right now because they played some strategy where they pit earlier before the end of the stage, and then so it was him, Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, and a handful of other guys. They ended up staying out. I don't know on that not competition. It was a caution, the Alex Bowman caution. So, they ended up being up front. And then the most interesting part of the race was on lap 50 here. So lap 50, William Byron, he ended up into the tire barrier. I believe it was in turn 12. And then everyone's avoiding William. Then Corey LaJoie hits Kevin Harvick, and Eric Almirola hits Corey LaJoie and just causes this giant traffic jam. I don't know, something you would see on the interstate or in a Final Destination. everybody's just backing up, crashing into each other. So basically, that caused a giant mess there. So once they got all that situated, they were to get back racing on lap 53. Justin, he had a real good launch on the restart, and somehow they cut to Martin Truex. He was backwards on track. Lap 54. Again, I said earlier, wasn't the last time Noah Gragson was going to be in the turn 6 barrier, and that's true. He was not. He ended up in the turn 6 barrier again for the third time this race. So, crappy day for Noah Gragson. As he said back at Gateway, he said, "No, I can't wait for the off season to come around." Well, I don't blame him. On lap 56, it said they were on the commercial, and Christopher Bell, he ended up spinning out in turn one. He just overshot the corner. He ended up spinning out, so they kept going. Then lap 57, and a lap later, Tyler Reddick, E2 gets stuck in the turn 6 barrier, so they had to drag him out of that. That was a good day gone bad for Tyler Reddick, unfortunately for him, and none of that. I know the whole 2311 team kind of went to shambles after that. It sucks. The fact they were in Chicago. Michael Jordan he's like God in Chicago, I would imagine. So anyway, lap 60 comes around. There's 15 laps in the race. Haley leads, but Austin Dillon stays close. He's hounding on Justin. He's like, hey, I'm here. Unfortunately for Austin, his was going to turn to be a good run went bad on lap 62 here. Austin ended up hitting the inside wall going into turn 12, and he bounces off and hits the outside wall, or driver's left wall. Coming off turn 12, and ended up breaking the front toe link from second, and he ended up, lucky for Justin or whatever, there was a caution no caution came out because, Austin was able to drive it down the front stretch and then back it up into pit road, so lucky for him. And then there's action everywhere throughout the race. Lap 65, Truex and Harvick spin from Josh Bilicki I believe he hit Harvick, and Harvick hit Truex, so they both spun out. And then Harrison Burton, he ended up throwing it into the turn 1 barrier. So lucky, no caution there. They were able to get back going. Then with 10 laps to go, it was Justin Haley, Chase Elliott, and SVG. They had a 3-way battle for the lead. Justin, as we know, he has one cup win. From Daytona in the Spire 77 Evan car win by Lightning. Chase Elliott's one of the best road racers in NASCAR right now. And SVG, he ends up having he's 3-time V8 Supercar champion in Australia. They say he had 80 career wins. So Justin was gonna have a hard time if he wanted to win that race. And not only that, because as SVG, he was also on fresher tires than Justin and Chase, so they were going to have a hard time trying to hold off, and it proved to be true on lap 67. Shane Van Gie, he ended up passing Elliott for second, and then as it looked like Shane was getting ready to pass Justin for the win, what was going to be the win for the race. Martin Truex Jr. went into the turn 1 tire barrier, so that threw a caution out, and Justin got to stay in the lead for a little while longer there. They're near the end of the race. So we get a restart, 5 laps to go. Justin Haley gets a nice jump up on the restart. Shane catches back up with him with fresher tires. He passes him in turn 2, and Haley does this crossover move in turn 3. Then Shane Van Gisbergen, I actually spelled his name out here, so I actually pronounced it correctly here. Got back around him in turn 4. And for the most part, that looked like that was all that. Shane Gisbergen needed. Then fortunately with 2 to go, like I said, the 2311 guys, they went to shambles as Bubba. It looked like he left the dry lane and went into the wet part of the track, and he slid. He hit Ricky Stenhouse and had him getting Ricky stuck in the tire barrier in turn 1. So they had to throw the caution to get Ricky out, and they had overtime. Like it was the only overtime. Has Shane Van Gisbergen was able to get a good jump on the restart, and he did not have to look back. As SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, ends up winning in his debut race for Team Trackhouse in the Project 91 car with Justin Haley second. And no, which no good run for Justin. No, he needs that. No, just to build confidence. The colleague guys. No, they've been. I don't want to say like slouching, obviously, but no, it's not going as well as I thought I would go for them time in the Cup Series. But no, this is a good day for them and whatsoever for the colleague guys. Also, after celebration, they should know the donuts. No, Shane said no, he has one more year in Australia. Then he says he would love to come to NASCAR. So hopefully, we get to see Shane back in the race car here in the States in NASCAR, because I feel like he would do good here. No, he's got a competitive guy in Ross Chastain and a consistent guy, in Daniel Suarez to be teammates. So let's see. Hopefully, somebody, well, even if it's not for Trackhouse, hopefully, Shane comes around and comes race NASCAR again. So anyway, how did the race go? I guess so. So how did the race go? So I was like, said So how did the race do? Like visually, look nice. See Chicago, look good. Like racing, I thought the racing was good. It was a lot better than I expected. Expecting a lot of single file stuff going on, like we kind of see at Sonoma and somewhat Coda. I don't know what we saw, but tonight's race was a really good race. I'm real proud to see. It was a much better success than what I thought it was going to be. Then, also that there's a 3-year plan, I believe it was. So hopefully, the next 2 years will be just as good as the first year. So leave the comments down below. Do you think today was a good race? Do you think they should do more street races? Do you think SVG will do good in NASCAR if he does come here full time? I don't know. If you want to see more, subscribe and leave a like on the video. Much appreciated.